The Iron Fist. Eradicate divinity at any cost. Insert recruit level credentials. Access granted. Level 49.2. Training Grounds M-1. Welcome, recruit. Warning. The place you are in right now is known as Training Grounds M-1, or Level 49.2, which is a sublevel of Level 49 that nobody but our organization knows about. You are requested to maintain utmost secrecy on the means to access it, and to never reveal the sublevel's existence to the outside public, alongside the existence of this Mercury base. We once again remind you that any breach of the privacy and rules of our group will be punished accordingly. You may now proceed. Glory to the Iron Fist. Description: the environment of the site resembles an abandoned military outpost, with forests circling the entire urban area of the level. It is also filled with broken down or unusable buildings, which are usually salvaged for the construction of better establishments. Nissan huts, also referred to as storage houses, are the primary resting quarters of each member who lives inside the level. They can be found scattered all across the environment, mainly closer to its center. There are then two large warehouses, which store all of the weapons and supplies of our faction. The warehouses can only be accessed by captains, who lead each team inside of the faction. Each captain assigns supplies and weapons to each member of their team when it's needed. The last building of importance is the main base building itself, a large establishment for meetings and easy transportation to the sites of other factions. Next to it, there are the training grounds, which are utilized by all members to refine their techniques and practice battling and assassination. Various kinds of targets and training dummies are used for practice. The level follows a regular day-night cycle of 24 hours and is devoid of entities while being full of supplies, which seem to always appear in most obscure spaces. This made it the perfect place to settle by our ancestors. It was originally discovered by one of our ex-leaders, Ian. He and a team of 4 other members had found the entrance to the sublevel by complete luck. It was initially covered in much soil and debris, with only a few wooden barracks and natural formations for shelter. Ever since then, our factions inhabited this land and utilized it as its main base. To this day, the entrance is kept well hidden from the public eye, and with the Meg's report claiming that the level has no exits, nobody has attempted to thoroughly search for one or access the level voluntarily at all. Important information. What is the purpose of this faction? As you may know already, this faction of the Iron Fist is known as the Mercury faction. We specialize in assassination, infiltration, and capturing. Alongside helping and strategizing for important attacks, our goal is to exterminate all gods or god-related beings, no matter their identity, for the sake of preserving human lives. Who is the leader of the faction? Our faction is currently under the rule of the great Joan Artegia, who became the leader at just 13 years of age. It is irrefutable proof of her great leadership and battling abilities. She has successfully managed to lead assassinations of dangerous foes while also maintaining a harsh, militaristic leadership that made our troops stronger than ever. Alongside her, there is Madeline Artiga, her mother, who is our leader before stepping down in her favor. She is Joan's mother and guide, a strict and determined woman with a hard heart. Lastly, as the right hand of our leader, there is Marianne Artegia, her sister, who leads on the battlefield and knows how to craft the most deadly poisons. What does a recruit need to know that's most important? Upon recruitment, you will be given a key to one of the various Nissan huts, which will become your permanent home. Each hut has a regular-sized simple bed, a toilet, a sink, a wardrobe, a small pantry, and a fridge. Your assigned leader will also give you a beginner weapon and a training uniform. Better weapons can be obtained with good conduct and training progress. A schedule sheet will be assigned to you upon joining, containing a strict routine that must be followed every day. The routine usually details the timings for training, eating, and missions. It serves as a way to keep everything organized and stable. As a general way to avoid leaving behind traces of you during missions, you must cut your hair soon after joining. It's also important not to wear any jewelry or accessories for the same reason. An assassin must never leave any trace of themselves behind, or it would compromise us and their identity. Make sure to avoid getting blood on your clothes and wash them quickly if it does happen. The weapons you will be given will always be small or simple to hide, such as daggers and knives. It's often suggested to coat the weapons in an extra layer of liquid iron for a better corroding effect against our targets. It has proven to weaken them significantly. There are about 15 teams in the faction, all named after a letter of the alphabet. Each team has around 25 members. There are no particular differences in the groups, and the reason for their existence is to supervise all members properly through the different captains by dividing them into smaller numbers. Captains are elected amongst the members upon the death or disappearance of the previous captain. Those who have performed the best in missions are usually chosen. You must not in any way speak of the Iron Fist or our faction in public, or it will result in a need to eliminate anyone who has acquired such information. What are the ranks in this faction? There are 4 accessible ranks in total. The first one is Simple Soldier, the rank all recruits start with. It allows basic clearance credentials and access to basic weapons. The missions assigned to members of this rank are fairly easy and utilized as training. There is then the Experienced Soldier rank, which can be gained after being a member of the faction for a long time. It is obtained through performing various missions and training frequently. The third rank is the Captain rank, which, as previously mentioned, not only allows an individual to lead a team of their own, but also allows them to have higher credentials and the ability to enter the warehouses for supply shipments. Lastly, the fourth rank is known as Right-Hand Assistant, a difficult rank to be achieved. This rank would allow someone to closely work with our leader while having the highest credential access possible. It would also allow the individual to directly participate in certain private meetings. Obtaining it is extremely complicated, as our leader would be the one directly assigning it. What kinds of missions must be performed? Missions are often assigned by captains, or directly by our leader. The type of mission varies between ranks. While lower-ranked members are assigned missions with the sole purpose of training, like being requested to assassinate an entity or a minor threat, higher-ranked individuals are assigned true assassination missions on real dangerous threats. For those kinds of missions, a target is assigned through a document sheet that was produced by our collaborators of the Jupiter faction. The document contains any kind of personal information about the target. It must be studied until a proper plan has been made. Then, the assassin would be sent to commit their attack and asked to dispose of the body once it has been done. As for kidnapping missions, the procedure is the same, the only difference being the need to keep the target alive and return them to the base. Missions assigned by our leader can be very different in terms of difficulty. Most require group collaboration on a mass attack on multiple threats. All that matters in the end is to stay together and attack them from all fronts. Determination will be your key to success. Entrances and exits. Accessing a secret pathway in the Jupiter base found within level 105 will lead to this sublevel. For more information regarding how to access it, speak to the Great Abdiaz. The most utilized and well-hidden method of access to enter the sublevel can be found within the trenches of level 49 by finding a hidden dug pathway in one of the said trenches. The spot is found in a trench that is marked with a green ribbon. Exits. It's possible to reach the Jupiter base in level 105 by holding onto a religious book that lacks a symbol and no clipping through a nearby wall. An exit to level 11 can be accessed by going through one of the barracks in the level that is labeled as 11. By accessing a room marked with a cross and filled with religious artifacts, it's possible to no-clip to the Cathedral Celeste. Going through the guarded door marked with a target that is close to the storage warehouse will lead to level 196. A message of determination. As the last step to initiate your journey as a recruit, you will watch a recording that our leader prepared for all new members. It was produced in the hope of further moving your hearts with true justice towards our good cause. Begin log. Joanne Artegia is sitting in front of the camera. She is fully visible. Her blue eyes were staring downwards before facing the camera. She passes a hand through her short blonde hair, her movements revealing a few scars all across her face. For millennia, the gods have torn apart all that we held dear. They've destroyed my ancestors, leading them to insanity. They controlled us and behaved like our commanders. It's only thanks to our group's efforts that we were able to gain the freedom we have today. But our fight is far from over. The traitor still breathes. Barzil Igibala, the false man who betrayed us and sacrificed us for his selfish survival. Until he is dead, our people will never be able to gain their revenge and be put to rest. Wherever there's a god, there will be problems, suffering, and evil. None of them can resist the urge of power. I have been training my entire life for this single purpose, to eliminate those who hurt us. This purpose is my entire reason for living, and I will do whatever it takes to lead you and everyone else to victory. Perhaps you've endured the injustices of gods in the past, just like us. Now, you will have the chance for revenge. You will help fix what they took away for a brighter future. The fate of humanity lies on your shoulders. I will never let the false deities harm any human being ever again. This is my promise to all of you as a leader, my oath of loyalty. You are a soldier now. Your hands will bear the means of our freedom. Glory to the Iron Fist. End log.